Today we are going to start with Physics Chapter 2, Physical Quantities and Measurement. In this chapter, we are going to focus on the concept of density, flotation and sinking. Okay, so first concept which we are going to study in this particular chapter is density. Let's talk about what is density first. Also, we'll watch a video. Okay, when the word density comes in front of you, what can you make out of it? What do you think density is? Now, density is made from a word dense. Density is made from a word dense. Okay, dense can be called closely or tightly packed. Dense means closely or tightly packed. Like if you want me to use this word dense in a sentence, I would say that Mumbai is a dense city, or Mumbai is a densely populated city. So now you have a visual, you can say, idea about what dense means. Okay, I'll give you more example, more you can say relevant example. The Mumbai local trains are densely packed in the rush hours, right? In the rush hours, Mumbai local trains are densely packed with people. There are so many people that there is no space. So dense also means less space, less space for everyone, less space for each and everyone, less space, more people. Okay, but we are not going to talk about people over here. So in the place of people, I'm just I will just remove this word people, and in the place of people, if I write more particles, is that fine? Because we are talking about substances, na, in physics. We are not talking about cities or people. We are talking about substances. So dense substances means less space and more particles. Closely or tightly packed particles. Now you have just studied about kinetic theory of matter in the previous chapter, and you know that every matter, every substance is made up of particles. If everything is made up of particles, right, and these particles have spaces between them, that is intermolecular spaces, and these particles attract each other with intermolecular forces of attraction. These we know from the kinetic theory of matter. So density is one more, you can say, aspect of the study of these particles. The particles can be closely or tightly packed, as in solids, or they can be loosely packed, as in liquids and gases. Okay, so let's first take a model. Take a model. Um, okay, let me draw one space for you and replicate it with similar spaces. Okay, and let me draw two spaces for you. So we have two spaces in front of us. You have to tell me which one is dense and which one is not dense. Okay, you have to tell yourself basically. So in the first space, the molecules are there, but they are just dispersed here and there. Okay, in the second space, the molecules are like this. There are some spaces between the molecules, but relatively, the molecules are tightly packed. Don't you see that? So I'm not drawing the full space, I'm not completing the whole thing. I'm just making a few molecules so that you understand the concept. Okay. Okay, so this is like how the whole space will be filled. The whole space will be filled like this with all these molecules. Okay, and here the molecules are spread here and there. So let me just write the molecules or the particles of substance or matter are spread throughout, or you can say spread far away from each other. And the particles here are not spread. The particles are densely packed. Okay, so now you can now visualize the, you can say, the actual meaning of the word density in both the cases. See, density is there. Okay, denseness is there, but it is different in both the cases. Here the denseness is less because the particles are spread far away, and here the denseness is more. Now you must be wondering that why am I talking about denseness or tightly or closely or loosely packed particles, because that's not how your teacher taught you. Yes, mostly teachers directly go to the definition and SI units and formula for density, but I want you to first visualize what is density. I want you to visualize what is density. Okay, so this is basically what density is. Here, denseness is less. Here, the denseness is more. In the other words, I can say that here density is less, and here density is more. Okay, less particle in the same space means less density. More particles in the same space, that means more density. So out of solid, liquids and gases, which one has the greater density? Can you tell me now? Out of solid, liquids and gases, which one has greater density? Out of solids, liquids and gases, solids have the greatest density because in the same space, if you take equal amount or equal volume of solid, liquid and gases, uh, solids in the same volume will have the maximum number of particles tightly packed. That means the denseness of particles in a given volume of solid will be very high as compared to the denseness of particles of liquids and gases. That means solids, they have higher density. Now you understand one thing? Okay, but I'm going to take this topic a little more ahead and make it more challenging for you. Okay, one question I have for all of you. So I have two bags. I have two bags. In one bag, I have 1 kg of cotton. In other bag, I have 1 kg of iron. Okay, I will not tell you the shape of the bag. Okay, what you need to do in your notebooks right now, you need to draw the shapes of the bag in which there is 1 kg of cotton and 1 kg of iron. Okay, so basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to estimate the size of the bag in which I can stuff these things. The size of the bag in which I can put 1 kg of cotton versus the size of the bag in which I can put 1 kg of iron. So basically we are going to have a competition between these two, 1 kg of cotton and 1 kg of iron. So your time starts now. Pause the video and draw the size of the bags which could contain 1 kg cotton and 1 kg iron respectively on the either side. Okay, your time starts now. Pause the video and do it. Okay, I hope you're done. So, I will draw the size of the bags or the containers or the, you can say, spaces which could contain these two materials. Okay, relatively, of course not exact, but relatively. So 1 kg cotton would be this much, and 1 kg iron would be this much. So these are the size of the bags which could hold these things. Okay, there is a huge difference. No problem. We'll go to that. We'll get to that. Okay. Next question. So this is, you can say, size of the bag. Now, comparison on the basis of size of the bag. Okay. Now, what I want to name this characteristic which we have just listed over here as volume. Size of the bag means volume. Volume means space occupied. Space occupied. Which substance occupies how much space? That is its volume. Okay. So here it's very clear that iron, 1 kg of iron occupies less space, and 1 kg of cotton occupies more space. So 1 kg of iron has less volume, 1 kg of cotton has more volume. Okay, that is clear. The second thing which I want you to tell me, okay, I want you to tell me which out of these two is more heavy. More heavy. Remember, 1 kg of cotton is more heavy or 1 kg of iron is more heavy. Please pause your video and write down. You cannot draw heavy, of course, but write down beneath these two figures which one is more heavy. 1 kg of cotton is more heavy or 1 kg of iron is more heavy. So you can write more heavy and less heavy wherever you feel like. Okay, think a little bit and then write. Okay, so I think you have written something. Now let's say which one is more heavier. Okay, 1 kg cotton and 1 kg iron, none of them is more heavier. They have the same weight. Same weight. Same weight. They both have same weight. 1 kg cotton and 1 kg iron, they both have same weight. They both are 1 kg after all. If you happen to put both of them on a beam balance, they both would weigh 1 kg. The beam balance would be balanced. Okay, beam balance देखा है तुम लोगों ने? The person who sells vegetables on the street has got a beam balance in his hand. That's where you can find a beam balance. Okay, most of the shops which sells grocery or vegetables, they have electronic weighing machines, so we don't see beam balance in our day-to-day life anymore, but the street vegetable vendors have got beam balance till date. Okay, so they put the weights, iron weights, in one of the pan, and the substance or the you can say vegetables or fruits, whatever you're buying, in the other pan. And when the beam both the pans balances, when the beam is horizontal, that means the weight which is the iron weight which is put in one of the pan is the weight of the uh, food article or whatever you are buying uh, in the other pan. Okay, so if you happen to put beam balance, if you happen to put 1 kg cotton and 1 kg iron in beam balance and check the weight, you would find that beam balance is horizontal. It is balancing. That means they both have same weight. None of them is heavier. So my question earlier, which is heavier, is absolutely wrong. It is. You can't ask this question, right? Which is heavier? No, you can't ask this question. You can't answer this question. None of them is heavier because both have the same weight. Okay, so here I am actually um, comparing their mass. Now you would ask me, sir, what is the difference between mass and weight? Okay, so weight is basically the gravitational force acting on any body, and mass is the amount of matter contained in the body. So this is the definition of physics. Okay, but since we have not studied the difference between mass and weight till now, So I will consider mass and weight to be the same thing. Okay, so if you ask me, sir, what is my weight? Okay, so you can measure your weight on a, you can say, the weighing scale. Okay, and you can consider that that's your mass also. So for now, mass and weight are the same thing. Okay, don't get confused. Okay, so we have been comparing uh, 1 kg cotton and 1 kg iron. We found their volume, we found their mass or weight. Now we are going to I'm going to ask you another question, the third question. Please think and answer this question. I want you to compare their denseness or density. Let's call it density. Which has more density? Okay, so that's my next question to you. What I'm trying to do is I'm not reading the chapter for you, but I'm clearing your concepts. So if you are able to answer all these questions, that means you understand density very well, right? Okay, so the next question is in front of you. Which has more density? Compare the density of 1 kg of cotton and 1 kg of iron. You now know both occupy how much volume, both weigh how much, what is their weight. You have compared their volume, that is the space occupied by them. You have compared their weight or mass. Now you have to find or compare their density. You have to tell me which is more denser. So pause the video, think, and write your answer in your notebook. Great. So I think you all have got the answer. Now let's see whether you have got the correct answer or not. So the question was, which has more density? Now this is 1 kg of cotton. This is 1 kg of cotton and this is 1 kg of iron. Both have same weight. But this weight is made up of what? This mass is made up of what? This mass is made up of particles. Right? Without particle, there could be no mass because mass is the amount of matter contained in the body. So there is matter in this cotton as well as there is matter in this iron, and that matter makes up its mass or its weight. Without matter, there could not be any mass or weight. So we understand that there must be some particles. Okay, now cotton has more volume, iron has less volume. You should be able to now very well answer that in which of the two, cotton or iron, in which of the two the particles are tightly packed. See, both have 1 kg weight, both have the same mass. Okay, you have the volume in front of you by common sense. Okay, now you have to tell me which one has tightly packed particles. So you are right if you are saying iron. In ions, the particles are tightly packed because there is no space. Space occupied is very, very less. The volume is very, very less. So particles in ions are tightly packed, as you can see over here. Very less spaces. And the particles of cotton, there are so many particles. But as you can see, they are not tightly packed. There are a lot of spaces between the particles of cotton. So particles are not tightly packed. Okay. Okay. Now it is very easy to tell which is dense. Tell me which is dense now. If you have written iron, 1 kg iron is more dense, then you are correct. Here the density is more. Here the density is less. So now the concept of density in your mind should be very, very clear. Density hota kya hai? So density is the ratio of mass per unit volume. Now I'm giving you the formula for density, which the textbook has explained directly. Density is nothing but mass upon volume. Density is nothing but mass per unit volume, mass upon volume. Okay, so this density tells you what does the density tells you? Density tells you that how tightly or how closely the particles of a matter are packed. Are they more tightly packed or less tightly packed? If more tightly packed, then the density will be high. Then the ratio of mass per unit volume will be high. See, as you can see in the case of iron, mass upon volume. If I check the ratio of mass upon volume of iron, the mass in case of iron and cotton is the same. Okay. But what about the volume? Here the volume is less. Here the volume is more. See, in this case, both have same masses. Both have same masses. But what about the volume? If you check the volume of iron, iron has less volume. If you check the volume of cotton, cotton has more volume. That means if you check the ratio separately and if you have good knowledge of mathematics, you can easily answer this question. If you check this ratio and if you check this ratio, in this ratio, the denominator is bigger. The numerator is same in both the ratios, but in this ratio, the denominator is bigger. In this ratio, the denominator is smaller. The ratio in which numerator is same, but the denominator is bigger is a smaller ratio. The value of that ratio is smaller. So the value of this particular ratio which is in front of us is smaller. That means the density is less. Why? Because the density is mass upon volume. And if the ratio, the value of mass upon volume is less, then the density will also be less. Here, the value of this particular ratio is more because the denominator is less. In any function, if the denominator is less and if the numerator is same as any other ratio, the value of that ratio will increase. That means density will increase. You understand? Now I have cleared all the concepts related to density and I have also given its formula. Now let me talk about the SI unit of density. Okay, so density, as I told you, is mass per unit volume. Now let me give you the units in which these quantities are measured. So mass is measured in kilograms. Mass is measured in kilograms. Volume is measured in meter cube. So the SI unit of density. SI unit, if you don't know what is SI unit, I'll tell you. S means standard, I means international. Standard international unit of density is kilogram per meter cube, kilogram upon meter cube, which could be written as kg m raised to minus 3. Right? We are using the laws of exponents and we are bringing this meter cube in the numerator and making its power negative, kg per meter cube. Okay, it is said as kg per meter cube. Remember this. The SI unit of density is kg per meter cube, kilogram per meter cube. Okay. Okay, so this is just the SI unit. There is one more unit which is known as CGS unit. Let us convert SI unit into CGS unit. Okay, so kilogram upon meter cube. Okay, now what is the CGS unit? CGS is centimeter gram second, which is a smaller unit. Okay, so can you tell me what is the CGS unit of mass? The CGS unit of mass is grams. And what is the CGS unit of volume? It is centimeter cube. Okay, so we have to convert kg into grams and meter cube into centimeter cube. How to convert kilogram into gram? We will multiply it by 1000. How to convert meter cube into centimeter cube? Now see, 1 meter is 100 centimeter. 1 meter is 100 centimeter. So 1 meter cube will be equal to 100 cube centimeter cube. which is 1000000 centimeter cube. Okay, so this will be multiplied by 10 lakh, 1 with 6 zeros in front of it. Okay, so if we multiply 1000 in the numerator and 10 lakh in the denominator, we get our unit in terms of, you can say, uh, gram per centimeter cube. Okay, that's the CGS unit. CGS unit is gram per centimeter cube. But what we are trying to do is we are trying to find the relationship between kg per meter cube and gram per centimeter cube. Okay, so let's cut these three zeros with these three zeros. So what you get is, uh, so here you will get 1 upon 1000 gram per centimeter cube. Let me write it in a simple way. Okay, so what did I do? I converted kg into grams and meter cube into centimeter cube. And in the process, when I multiplied kg by 1000, it became gram. When I multiplied meter cube with 10 lakh, it became centimeter cube. And these zeros also got cut. So I got 1 upon 1000 over here. So we have a relationship. What is the relationship? 1 kg per meter cube is equal to 1 upon 1000 gram per centimeter cube, or 1000 kg per meter cube is equal to 1 gram per centimeter cube. So this is nothing but the relationship between the SI unit and CGS unit of density. And this is extremely important. This will be useful from now up to class 12th. The whole concept of density with the SI unit and everything. The conversion of SI unit and everything. Okay, 1 gram per centimeter cube is 1000 kg per meter cube. So I'll give you one more relation, and this has to be remembered by you thoroughly. If you want to convert, kg per meter cube into gram per centimeter cube, what would you do? If you want to convert kg per meter cube into gram per centimeter cube, you would divide by 1000. And if you want to convert gram per centimeter cube into kg per meter cube, what would you do? You will multiply by 1000. Okay, so this is basically the SI unit, the formulae, the concept of density. Everything I have covered over here. I want you to take notes. So if you have not taken any notes, please note down everything, because it is not explained in this manner in your textbook. Okay. Now, before going ahead, I would want all of you to pay attention over here. Here we have density of some substances uh, in gram per centimeter cube and kilogram per meter cube. Cork. You know cork? Corks are used for closing glass bottles, wine bottles, vinegar bottles. Okay. Cork has a density of 0.25 gram per centimeter cube or 250 kg per meter cube. Then the density of wood, the density of ice. If you ask me if you have to remember all this, no need to remember, but at least have an idea. Aluminium, zinc. See, the density is increasing. So metals generally have more density. Gold has the highest density in metals, 19.3 gram per centimeter cube or 19,300 kg per meter cube. Liquid. Alcohol has a density of 0.78 or 78 gram per centimeter cube or 780 kg per meter cube. Water has a density of 1 at 4 degrees Celsius. 1 means 1 gram per centimeter cube or 1000 kg per meter cube. Okay, I am also coming to one more interesting point after this. See the density of milk, very, very close to water. Glycerine, okay. Mercury is a liquid metal with the highest density. Mercury is such a metal on which iron also floats. So mercury is a liquid. If you put a coin inside it, it will not sink because mercury is a liquid with a very great density. It is a liquid metal basically, right? Okay, let me now give you one more, you can say, idea about density. What do you mean by this statement? We have to write the meaning of the statement. Density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. What does it mean? It means, please note this down, it means that 1 gram of water occupies a space of 1 centimeter cube. 1 gram of water occupies a space of 1 centimeter cube. Okay. Next, density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. What does it mean? It means that 1000 kg of water occupies a space of 1 meter cube. Okay, so this is how you can understand or visualize the meaning of density. Density simply tells you that how much weight of a substance occupies how much space. Okay, if in a given space more weight of a substance is stored, that means it has more density. If a given weight of substance occupies more volume, that means it has less density. Okay, so just you can say meaning of the statement that density of a substance is this. So today I don't want to teach you ahead because I've just taught you a very, very important concept which should be with you for a very, very long time. Okay, so today I'm going to stop here. I'm just going to show you a couple of videos, and in the next class we can talk about determination of density of a solid by using measuring cylinder, and measurement of density of an irregular solid using Eureka can, and then measurement of density of a liquid by using density bottle. Okay, so these three topics I'm going to cover in the next class, and then we can take the topic ahead. So this, I think this chapter will take 2 to 3 classes to finish completely. I can finish it in one class also, but I don't want to rush through it because this is an important topic and it will be in use next year also. So I want you to remember what I'm teaching uh, before you go to class 9. Okay, so let's see one video.
This is the example we left at in the previous video. If we drop a piece of balsa wood and a metal pin of the same mass into the water, what will happen? Will both of them float, or will both of them sink? Or one stays afloat and one sinks? Just by intuition, we can say that the wooden block will float and the metal pin will sink. But if they're of the same mass, why does that happen? Shouldn't both float because of the buoyant force? This happens because of the difference in their densities. But what's density? Look at these two parking lots of the same size. One has 3 cars and the other has many cars. Which one is more dense? This one, correct? Yes. Now look at these two forests. Which one is more dense with trees? Clearly, it's this one. So in the same given amount of space, if there are more things, we say that it's denser. Density is simply the measure of how compact the mass in a substance or object is. If we have to go by its scientific definition, we would say that it's mass per unit volume. In short, it tells us how much mass exists in a given volume. The unit of density is kilogram per meter cubed. Mass is in kilograms and volume in meter cubed. Coming back to our example, why did the wood float and the pin sink? The wood floated on water because the density of the wood is lesser than the density of water. Hence, the upthrust of water on the wood is greater than the weight of the wood. Hence, it floated. But the density of a metal pin is more than the density of water. Though it looks tiny, there's more mass per unit volume within it as compared to water. Hence, the upthrust of water on the pin is less than the weight of the pin. So what can we conclude? If the density of an object is lesser than the density of the liquid, then it will float. And if the density of an object is more than the density of the liquid, then it will sink. We'll understand the Archimedes principle in the next video.
Okay, great. So I think the concept of density is very clear now with all of you. So just take notes in this class. I've not given you any other homework. Just take notes in this class, and in the next class we are going to find the density of a solid by using a measuring cylinder and two more topics. See you in the next class. Bye bye.